And welcome to another edition of the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein, but who's asking? You already know who I am at this point. Now, of course, the guy to my right has been complaining about the fact that we should be wearing some sort of Christmas sweaters and all this and that to make it a little bit festive. Well, unfortunately, I sort of forgot about that, but don't worry, I have the perfect way to get festive. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the ETBU head women's basketball coach, Rusty the Rainbolt, a jolly good man is he. Okay, well, if that's not festive enough, I don't know what it is. But Coach Rainbolt, you had yourself a couple of good games over the past couple of weeks with Sul Ross and Howard Payne last night, coming away big victoriously from the offensive and defensive perspective. Just take us through those two games and what was it about the games that you were impressed with the most?
Well, first of all, I'm already on to Christmas with you singing Christmas carols like that. You know, I'm already on to Christmas, ready to see Santa Claus and all that good stuff. But no, it was a good past two games. The girls have played very well, coming through finals time and going into the break. You're never sure what you're going to get. Each team can kind of take on a life of its own, and so we've been very blessed to have a mature group of girls that have continued to do their jobs and do it well. And so, yeah, it was nice to play well against Sul Ross. And then I thought last night against Howard Payne, we probably played one of our best games of the year on both sides of the ball. I thought defensively the girls did a really good job. And then offensively, obviously, when you score 75, 80 points in two games, it's you're doing something right on the offensive end. So, but both teams that we played were very, very physical, very scrappy, competed to the end of the game. Sul Ross's kids, I thought they played as hard as anybody we played all year. And then Howard Payne's kids did the same thing. It was just two teams that had to compete the whole time. But no, very pleased with a lot of our girls. There were a lot of different girls that were very productive. We've had, even late in the game, having girls come in and make shots was nice. Paige Royal has had two really good games making shots, and April Matthews and Bianca Bowering, and a lot of girls that have played well in their minutes. So it's been good.
And one player who we got to see the return of course, is Kim Childers. Now, of course, Childers had been out for a couple of weeks because of health-related concerns and all that. So you kind of had to sort of work her way in. So when you're dealing with a situation like if a player were, let's say, kind of has an injury or isn't really feeling well, and considering the fact that you have an incredible depth on your team, is it one of those cases where once they get the all clear to play, do you just kind of have to work their way back in to pick up their minutes, or is it just like, hey, we got something going on here, we'll just keep it up?
You try to do what's best for the team and the player, and sometimes that goes hand in hand, and sometimes that can kind of contradict because, in Kim's case, I mean, she's been a huge part of what we do here last year and this year, and her starting the year, the first two games starting and playing real well, and then immediately getting sick and being out for the last whatever it has been 3-4 weeks. Other people have had to step into that role and assume those minutes, and we've been playing pretty well, but there's no doubt about Kim's value and worth and role on the court and off the court. And I'll say that's a big tribute to Kim is even though she's not been playing the last 4 weeks, her leadership and her commitment to the team have never wavered, and so just love a kid like that. But it was wonderful to have Kim back. We tried to. She didn't get released till Friday, and so she hadn't done anything until Friday, and then we played on Saturday, and so she didn't even get to practice on Friday because she was at the doctor at the same time practice. So literally she hasn't had a full practice in 5 weeks, and then she steps on the court, and I think she played 10 or 12 minutes on Saturday against Sul Ross, and it was just nice to have her back out there. But I tease her. I tease her a lot, just saying, you took a 4 or 5 week vacation. We know what she was doing. She's like Tim Duncan at the end of his career, trying to take some time off. But no, for Kim, we just wanted to throw her back out there, even though she hadn't practiced much, and let her just burn her lungs up and burn her legs up, and just kind of try to get back in the flow of things. And she had a good practice on Sunday, and then played last night and played extremely well in the minutes she got. But I know it's awesome for her just watching her maturity, because she's came off the bench the last two games and been one of the later girls to come into the game, but yet just continued to be a professional and do her job. And she'll be working her way back into her spot very quickly. But But yeah, just the challenge of balancing what's best for her and what's best for the team, because the team has been playing well. And but it's good. We have a group of girls that are mature and committed to the team first, and so it helps when you have those type of mature girls instead of a bunch of egos and characters.
Definitely, Coach. So, well, this week, Coach, you find yourself in what I would call the Beat the Sting week. You got through one swarm of Yellow Jackets, and this Thursday you're going to deal with another here at home as you are welcoming Laterno in the game. Now, of course, you're the only game that night. The men's team don't play Laterno until January. But so we've seen Laterno's women's basketball team at Ornelas Gymnasium because they were here as part of the ASC SCAD crossover, and you got to watch them play a couple of times. From your vantage point, what is it about that team that they bring to the table that you could see as a potential cause for a little bit of concern, and what do you need to do to counter that?
Yeah, well, this is college athletics. Anybody can win. I mean, the other team has college players too, and so I think that's the thing that we always try to remind ourselves and remind the team is, it doesn't. You can look at the records or look at stats and all that kind of stuff, and that's just fool's gold. You have to prepare and you have to put in good seed to get out a good fruit in the end. And if we want to come into the gym on Thursday and have a great chance to win, you have to prepare like every other game that we do. And so Laterno, Cassie does a good job. Obviously, this is just her second year, but she does a good job, and she's trying to get her kids to fit in the culture and in the way they want to play. And they're going to play hard. Obviously, anytime ETBU and Laterno play each other in any sport, whether we're playing jalapeno eating contest, or AD trying to throw a French fry into a bucket, or we're playing football or basketball or baseball, we know we're going to get their best, and so we're going to prepare like that. But hopefully our girls will continue to stay focused the next 3 days, and we can end the break on a good note. So.
All right, Coach. Well, you wanted a bit of a festive interview, and earlier I tried to be festive, but just so, as far as the team's plans are concerned, what is the deal for like any sort of Christmas parties planned out or so? And just talk about, what do you have in store for the team for this year at least?
Yeah, you kind of touched on a touchy subject. The girls had their own players' Christmas party last night, so I didn't get an invite to that. And Kayla Bice said she had to leave right after our game because she was going home to bake, and they ended up having a player Christmas party together. But we are actually having a Christmas party over at our house tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and we've got some surprises planned for the girls as well. But I think they're wearing their Christmas pajamas and all that kind of stuff, and we'll do a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, it's a fun time of year, and then we play on Thursday, and then the girls will head out. Everybody will leave on Friday, and they're going to have 13 straight days off at Christmas. So it's crazy to give a college basketball team 13 days when most schools are only required 5. But we're going to do that because we really value family and time off, and it'll be good. Just hopefully they'll come back in pretty good shape. But after the break, we'll come back and have 1 day of practice and then travel and get right into it playing another exhibition game against Tarleton. So that'll be a tough challenge for sure.
All right. Well, Coach, best of luck to you and your team on Thursday. And for the Christmas party, let's just hope that nobody has a bah humbug moment on the squad. So, all right, Coach, thanks for joining us once again. And, folks, we actually probably won't be back until the year 2019. So if you don't see us until then, have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For Rusty Rainbolt, which we'll talk to more often, I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein. We will see you next time on the ETBU Coaches Show.